Hi, my name is Rex Beanland and welcome to this edition of my Tips and Techniques video series. And today I would like to take a look at the difference between a natural hair brush and a synthetic brush. In particular, I want to look at this is a Kolinsky Sable brush. It's a lovely brush, moderately priced for a good quality sable brush, about $75. Really good brush. And I want to compare that to this particular completely synthetic Skoda Perla brush. And I want to show some of the differences between them. Okay, the first thing I'd like to look at is their ability to hold water. So let's take a look at this. Just going to move this. I'll start with this synthetic. I have a puddle of paint here. I'm going to really dip this brush into it. So it's completely full as it can be of paint. And I'm going to start here. And you can see it's already running out of paint. So that's a synthetic brush. I'm going to take my Kolinsky Sable and do the same thing and perform the same test. So you can see this brush, this sable brush, holds a lot more water. And that's a characteristic of natural hair versus synthetic. Now, or I guess just to bring this back, the point is that these are both excellent brushes. I should have mentioned that this one is very reasonably priced, about $25. So they're both excellent brushes, but they do different things really well. So we know, or we've just seen this the natural hair holds a lot more paint, a lot more water. So if you're doing a wash, say for example a sky wash, this is the brush you want to use. So I'm going to just show that so you can get that lovely stroke. And we have this nice bead at the bottom, and as long as we have that bead and we touch into it, the paint will just keep traveling down the paper, and we get a lovely smooth wash with no brush strokes visible. And that's where natural hair brushes shine. And remember, it doesn't just have to be a big sky wash. Anything you paint in watercolor is a wash, any shape that you're painting. So when you're doing the washes, this is the brush you want. And we'll just end right there. So a beautiful wash, no brush strokes visible. So this is the brush when you want to do that when you're creating washes. Now, I'm just going to mop this up so it doesn't do anything strange on me. This brush, however, this synthetic, its advantage is that it comes to a beautiful point. You can see that, just a gorgeous point. So I'll get some more paint here. I'll get a couple of colors. So this brush, this Skoda brush, not only does it come to an excellent point, it's a really, really strong brush. So if I want to do fine detail, then I'm going to reach for this brush. See it, no matter what you do with it, it springs back to that lovely point. In fact, I'll do all these lights at one time. add on these guys. Okay, just get some, dress this up a little bit with some extra lines here and there. Okay, so that sable brush wouldn't be able to do this. So this brush, it shines whenever you want detail and calligraphic type lines. Now the one other thing I want to go over is the durability. The test for a brush is if you get it wet and you flick it, it should spring back to, in a sense, its natural shape. Now this brush I've used for about 1.5 years, and I'm pretty hard on brushes, and I paint on Arches 140 rough paper. So I'm really tough on brushes. And this brush for the first month, maybe 2 months, came to a beautiful point. It had a razor sharp point, and I could hold it back here and do lovely calligraphic lines. But then the hairs, particularly at the point there, they just wear out. This will no longer come to a point. Just for out of interest, what it does still do, if I shape it, it comes to a lovely chisel shape, which can be extremely useful. But this will no longer come to a point, and that's the fact of life with natural hair brushes. They wear out. And so as a watercolorist, one of the joys is you keep getting to buy new brushes. I just want to show another one that's a sable brush here. And this one I've only used about a month. So you can see it's still got a pretty good point. The test is if I wet it and flick it, and you can see that still comes to a really nice point. This brush, if I flick this, it goes back to that beautiful point all the time. Yeah, I just wanted to bring this in. It's the same brush, exactly the same brush as this, except I have used this one for about 2 years, and like I say, it has been well used. If I flick it, you can see it doesn't come to that same kind of point. It's a little bit rounded there. So it's just a fact of life that watercolor brushes are going to wear out. But the whole point of this video was not so much that as the fact that the natural hair and the synthetic, particularly this synthetic, are both excellent brushes. In my experience, I need to have both of them because they both do different jobs. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I look forward to connecting with you next time.